Yeah, dude, we're back. It's Wild Ride with Stevo, and man, this week we are going to learn about the highest levels of making money as a stand-up comedian. Gosh darn it. Gabriel Iglesias sells out arenas everywhere he goes. Man, you're not even going to believe this guy's operation. So let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel Iglesias. Yeah. I want you to meet my co-host, Scott Randolph.
What's up, dude?
And coming from off camera, you'll probably hear Paul Brisky chime in from here and there.
What's going on, Gabe? How are you?
Good. Are you on a tour bus? I'm trying
Yeah, it's an RV, a Class B motorhome built on a Dodge Ram ProMaster chassis. And thank you for joining us, man. What an honor. I don't even know where to begin. Let's just dive into politics and religion. Man, so...
I always feel like I'm following you. Like anytime I go somewhere, like Steve-O was just here. It's always a thing. Steve-O was just here. Like I want to say about a year and a half ago, I was in, what was it, Toronto or Vancouver, somewhere. It was for the JFL Festival. And I follow you on your social media. So every time I'm looking at your social media, you're always naked, man. You're always naked. You get naked more than a Mexican with tequila. You do.
In the group photos that you see with the clubs?
No, he's talking about me and Lux in the windows and stuff.
Okay.
And hey, thank you so much, man. I had no idea. I started following you too. And congrats on everything, man. Fucking A.
Thank you. Also, let me finish. So I'm following your stories, and I'm like, there's naked again. I'm like, wow, look at that view. And what wound up happening is when you left, I got your room. With that view because I'm like, oh my God, this is where that went down. And then I couldn't sleep on my bed because I'm like, no.
There's like a dick print still on the window. Yeah, that was in Vancouver.
Yeah, that was Vancouver, for sure.
If housekeeping doesn't know to clean that window because of that.
Yeah, it's extra cleaning.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I was trying to figure it out because one of the first questions I wanted to ask you was, do you tape your special in a gigantic basketball arena, and or do you do the whole tour in arenas?
The whole tour is an arena, so it's one of those things where we don't have to change very much as far as the flow of the show. The show goes at that pace, so it's not like because if sometimes we'll do like a comedy club where the pace is one thing, and then you go from the club to a theater, and the tempo, the pace is off. You have to actually be performing it, whatever it is, to get used to it.
I have to work at suppressing my jealousy.
Yep. When did you graduate to arenas? Because that's fucking huge.
I want to say it's been arenas now for probably the last 3 to 4 years, and then before that it was a mixture of theaters and arenas. We were kind of doing that crossover, and then before that, I was hardcore comedy club to the point where I probably stayed in the club longer than I should because I was doing 2 weeks back to back. Like I was doing show Wednesday, Thursday, 2 Friday, 3 Saturday, 2 Sunday, and then a Monday, and then I'd do the same thing the following week. And so my manager's like, dude, can we just go to a theater? Because this is ridiculous. I'm like, no, but we're right next door to Dave & Buster's. And
it's crazy.
And free nachos. He goes, you're wasting. He goes, you're working way too hard, man. He goes, just go to the theaters. And so we were at the theaters for a little while, and that jump happened right away with the to go from theater. Club was a long time, theater was a little bit, and then arena has been the case since then.
What was that jump, do you think? Was that like doing the voiceover work, or like Magic Mike, or just because you're killing it so hard in comedy that people are showing up?
I think social media is the big factor, because it used to be that if you did a certain talk show, that was your bump, that was your push. And then it was like, okay, if you did a half-hour special or a 1-hour special. But I think that YouTube and just social media in general has been so amazing that encouraging fans to start posting, the videos, and not just the entire special, but all you need nowadays is to get eyeballs on you. So if you got a good 3 to 5 minute clip that captures people's attention, that's all you really need. And just having a good engagement with your fans. I call it digital grassroots, man. You get the people to talk about you, and that's all you need. Get them talking about you. You really need a TV show nowadays. You can get everything through social media.
Yeah, it's crazy. Your YouTube's killing it, right? You have how many million subscribers?
It's between 4 and 5.
Fuck, dude.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you gotta evolve. You gotta learn. And the jump from comedy clubs to theaters, I mean, that's such a gap. I was beating my head against the wall for years. You're like, fuck, man, because with the comedy clubs, 2 shows every fucking night, like staying all weekend long, it's such a grind. And I just made the graduation to theaters. Like, I got the call 1 week before the coronavirus shut everything down.
I think all of us, we were like, yay! I was 1 show away from performing where Michael Jordan used to freaking kill it every night in Chicago.
Nice.
So we were in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We got the phone call. They pulled us on the bus, and they're like, "Listen, that's it. That's all, folks. Let's go."
Damn.
And I'm like, "No."
It's crazy, man. But we read that you're really enjoying the quarantine.
I it's one of those things where people are always saying, when are you going to take a break? When are you going to take a vacation? When are you going to take some time for yourself? And you never know. I mean, this is show business. It could go away any moment. And so I always felt that if I didn't always keep my hand on it and keep pushing and going because the opportunity was there, that it would go away. Someone else is going to wind up, taking the magic.
For sure.
Afraid of it. And when everybody felt the wrath of Corona and the shutdown was real, I went a little stir crazy for about 3 weeks. And then I noticed that I was actually getting sleep, which is something I never got.
Yeah.
I'm still averaging now between 8 and 10 hours, which is unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sleep's important, man. It's a big deal. And I totally know what you mean because I've always felt that way. Like, man, the spotlight is very fleeting, and while I have the earnings potential, I don't want to wait until later and then think, oh, well, shit, man, I should have hustled when I had the opportunity. So, dude, I'm the same way, man. I'm relentless hustle. And now with the shutdown, the coronavirus, we're just hustling that much harder in every other space, all the digital shit. Do you do a podcast?
No, I haven't. And that's the one thing I haven't done, I feel, because I'm not as committed.
Every asshole's got one, man. It was hard for me to jump on the bandwagon, but I'm glad I did.
You jumped in the bandwagon.
Yeah.
My fans last week, if they would like for me to do, I said I will do a one-time podcast, just try to do one, and if they're into it, and the fans are like, yeah, please do one. I'm like, ugh. So now I'm like, okay, let me try to figure it out because I want to make sure that if I'm only doing one, that I go all out as possible with it. But trying to find a way to make things work. So you guys were talking to my buddy before I got on here about merchandising. So we've been doing a lot of merchandising, selling this, selling that, trying to stay busy. And then I've been taking on other projects, doing whether it's voiceover work or trying to do like promos for products. Like I started working with a company to sell an anti-chafing cream.
Nice.
That's what the hell I'm doing now. I'm selling anti-chafing cream.
Yeah. That's a big deal. My buddy Preston Lacey, he's
like where your balls are?
Yeah, I feel like he does. He's always putting talcum powder on his balls. That's an anti-chafing thing. But
I would have never said yes to.
You chafe a lot, Gabriel?
Actually, I don't. The irony is that a week after I taped the commercial, I freaking, I was working that treadmill a little too hard, and I had a little friction burn.
Yeah, I get like that because sometimes I won't wear any underwear. Then now, as I get older, I'm like, fuck, I got to wear underwear because I keep chafing.
Yeah, that's what happened. Is my underwear rolled up, and then freaking
Yeah, for sure.
I think that you've got evidently a great team around you. I don't think that it's going to be that much work for you to do a podcast, man. Like I was telling my guys before we got on, hey guys, I want to thank you for making it so easy for me. They set up all the cameras, they set up all the mics. All I got to do is jump in the van and we're ready to go. And I bet it would be that easy for you.
Plus, you could do it in your VW bus or something sick.
Oh yeah, a bus at your compound? That'd be sick.
How many of those sons of bitches do you have, VW buses?
Way too many, man. I probably would have been better off with a cocaine habit, but no. I've got somewhere along the lines of between 20 and 25 buses.
Fuck, dude.
Are currently being restored.
Do you buy them and then like refurbish them and sell them, or once you got it for life?
I haven't sold any of them. What I did in the beginning was I was working with Jay Leno's car guys, same guys that work with Seinfeld, and so they were like, "Hey, whatever you need, just let us know." And I had no idea they were that quick. Like you give them a specific year, color, everything, and they just, here you go. And then I'm like, oh shoot, sorry, I got doggies.
Okay.
Anyway, that's how I did it in the beginning, and then I met someone who actually does car restoration, but his specialty is Volkswagen.
Oh wow.
Marchena, and he just tell me what year, what color, we'll pimp it out, and that's how I do the cars now.
Great.
Fuck, dude. I bought a 1974 VW bus, and I brought it in the mechanic. He's like, dude, why the fuck did you buy this? And I was like, I don't know. I've always wanted to drive one, dude.
Every fucking week that thing broke down. I'm like, Scott, dude, how are we supposed to get anything fucking done when you can't drive anywhere?
Dude, I'd be like having like I'd be picking up workers to help us work or something, you know, and then all of a sudden like I'd have to call AAA, get them towed. We'd all jump in an Uber and go to the house and finish work. I mean, every fucking time I got in that car, like my AAA membership just like expired, or or I used it all up.
Yeah, if you have a Volkswagen, whether it's a car, bus, thing, or Carmen Ghia, you're gonna have those days where you put your key in and all you're doing is just putting your key in.
Dude.
Yeah, they're much better in a showroom, never driven, just parked there to look at.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, do you drive them around ever, Gabriel?
I'll take them out, but I mean, I'll keep them in the neighborhood. I'll keep them in the vicinity. I'm not.
Yeah, stay close. Yeah.
You're redoing all the engines and you're still keeping it in the neighborhood. Like I was going everywhere. That was my main commuter.
Yeah, if it's a daily driver, you got to really stay on top of it. My suggestion, because it is a 1974, I'm having a 1974 right now. I'm doing a little conversion where I'm having that engine taken out and I'm replacing it with a Subaru engine. Mm-hmm. It's going to have like 180 horsepower, which is insane. And it's going to be a very dependable daily driver. And it's also going to have air conditioning.
Fuck. So you'd feel confident driving that thing every day, all day?
Oh, yeah. That car will be a completely different. It's not even a Volkswagen as far as I'm concerned. It's,
Stop thinking about it, Scott.
Like, oh, really?
So you talk about your son in comedy. So he really lives with you?
Well, technically, his mom and I are no longer together, so now he works for me. So he's here at the office all day. So I see him a lot more now than ever.
Okay.
I'm watching him be productive, so that's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
I saw on your special you were talking about how he watches videos of other people playing video games.
That's what is it called? Is it Twitch? I think.
Yeah, Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch.
That's the streaming.
Whatever. I don't understand it. I always said if I was going to have kids, I would rather them smoke pot than play video games. I just think video games are so destructive to, I think...
To life.
To life, man. Yeah, I think...
It's like porn in a relationship.
But it's funny, these days people make a career out of it, so it's hard to kind of say that still, like...
Yeah, if you can make money...
Right, but you're damn well not making money watching other assholes do it.
That's true. But some people, a lot of people, you watch people play basketball or people watch people play other games. Like, what's the difference watching someone play Pac-Man or something, That
was exactly the point in the special.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah. So, okay, man. Now, just touring fucking arenas. It's just so crazy. What's the leap like from theaters to arenas? Man, Gabriel Iglesias is a champ. I just so appreciate how open he is about his business dealings. And I'm going to open up to you right now about the most important command I have for my dog, Wendy. That command is, Wendy, it's bedtime. That means she gets right in bed and ready to snuggle with me. You know what? I love my bed because it is a Helix mattress. helixsleep.com. You go on there and you fill out this little quiz. They give a little bit of information and they tell you what is the best mattress for you. And by gosh, they get it right, because this mattress is amazing. And I want you to find out how amazing, right? You go to helixsleep.com/Stevo. Fill out the quiz, figure out what the mattress is for you, and they will give you up to $200 off on that mattress. Plus, they throw in 2 free pillows with every mattress order. And you'd be crazy not to get that, because these pillows are off the charts. So again, for up to $200 off any mattress and 2 free pillows, go to helixsleep.com/Stevo. You're going to sleep better. You're going to be more comfortable. You're going to have a better life. Now, let's talk about arenas.
Well, let's see. The math is always, it has to be a minimum of 4,000 people in order to make that jump. So like with comedy clubs, it's like to make the jump from a comedy club to a theater is a little bit easier, because on average, if you're selling out, most clubs you can do 300 to 350. So you figure 300, you do 4 shows, that's a theater show right there. So with the theaters range from 1,000 seats to about 3,000, 3,500. And then, like I said, 4,000 is that jump. That's where you make that jump. So if you're able to do two theaters, 2 big theaters, you're ready for the arenas.
Dude,
And my promoters, man, they're like, when they're talking to me about the deals and stuff, they're like that movie where Beautiful Mind, where Russell Crowe, he's just talking and all the That's what they do. They're like, Gabe, look at, man, you're gonna play this arena, and what's this gonna happen, and the blah blah blah, and the percentages, and da 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 da. And I'm like, ooh.
How long did it take you to do 2 theaters in one night? Right away?
Man, I honestly I couldn't tell you. It's been so long. I just know that it always took someone telling me, hey, you need to go from here to here. I always felt safer staying more. Let's just keep it cool. No need to go out there and get crazy. No need to start, going out there and gambling if we don't have to. I don't mind playing this small room multiple times, as long as we're not losing any money. And so my manager, he really gave me that kick in the butt, because I didn't want to do it.
It's so the other way around with us. And I'm thinking here, Gabriel just made it sound so simple, so like doable. And my agents, he's like, I don't know, man. You're gonna.
Well,
go back
like
to-
you're the one pushing it for
Yeah,
bigger
if we-
shows, and they're the ones kind of being like, maybe take it.
When we get done, I'm gonna fucking probably have to chew out my agent. Be like, man, I just found out theaters aren't that big of a fucking deal, dude. We sell out comedy clubs left and right all the time. What's the fucking problem?
Yeah, I think they're. I think they're happy with us. Just, at the end of the day, sometimes I feel like agents don't give a fuck, and they're just like happy to.
I think it's easier to book comedy clubs for the agents. I think that the theater takes a little more work.
Well, I know that with a comedy club, they can always, the agent can always work for a higher percentage, because I think the standard, you go in there and if you're selling tickets, they can get you in a 70-30 split.
Yeah.
But then, you're going to go in and grind them and get it to 75, get it to 80. When I left the clubs, I was at 95%. So I'm like,
shit.
hey, done.
fuck, dude.
Damn.
Dude,
that was for them to work with the promoter and get those deals just right. And so, my agent didn't feel comfortable with me going to the theaters if the deals weren't right. And if, the guarantees, they got to make sure that the guarantees were there. And that was the big thing, was making sure that those guarantees were there. But the promoter has to really believe in you and trust you to do your press, to go out there and deliver a good, solid show and to have that following.
Man, it's badass. And it's so impressive that you're taking the orders for all of your merch right there in-house. You're fulfilling all the orders, doing all the shipping. How'd you put that together?
A long time ago, I started selling CDs at my comedy club shows. I had a CD burner. Those you'd go to what was it, Circuit City, and you could Circuit City. You go to Circuit City and you buy a CD burner, and it basically looked like a VCR with the 2 little, the disc things out there. And I would burn my 40-minute show that I had recorded at the Ice House, and so I would just sell that bootleg CD after the show, and I'd make a bit of extra money every week. And then my buddy Martin goes, "Hey, dude, you know, you should sell T-shirts. And I go, T-shirts? He goes, yeah, you should sell T-shirts. And I'm like, well, look, if I sell the CD costs me, what, 70 cents per disc? And I turn around and sell it for 20. I go, a T-shirt costs me $6 to make, and to sell it for 20, I go, why would I? The percentage is not there. I'm better off just selling the disc. And he's like, trust me, you're going to kill it with the T-shirts. And so I tried it one time, and the T-shirts just destroyed. Like, it was insane how good the T-shirts did. And so now I'm selling a CD and a T-shirt. And then I added a second T-shirt and a third T-shirt. Next thing I knew, my whole garage was full of inventory. And a couple months, we grew out of the garage. My girlfriend was pissed. She's like, I want my freaking garage back. And because it was insane. It looked like an episode of Hoarders. It was overflowing. And so we wound up getting a warehouse here in Long Beach. And then within the year, we had to get a double wide because it just kept growing. I kept adding more T-shirts. Next thing you know, I'm adding koozies, I'm adding magnets, I'm adding posters. I mean, you name it, I pretty much have it. I'm like that movie Spaceballs when they go to the merch area.
Yeah.
Where's the merchandise?
Yeah. Gabriel Iglesias, the flamethrower.
Dude, I love that so much, man. And my story's a little bit similar. After every show that we do, we turn that fucking place into a flea market, man. We 100%. And Scott here, he's my tour manager. He's my merch guy, my co-producer. And when we first started working together, I had just gotten out of this sex addict program, right? And I'm trying to learn how to have a healthy relationship. I can't fool around with any chicks on the road. So I called up Scott and I said, hey man, can you come with me on this trip as my cock blocker? Make sure that I don't fuck around with any chicks. And I was like, I sell books and T-shirts after my show, and that can bring in some revenue for you. So he shows up and he says, you only have books and T-shirts? You don't run credit cards? Dude, he fucking took over, and now dude.
Well, dude, you went from when I first started working with you, his accounting system was like an X or a circle around it. If one was like, you remember how you used to do that?
Well,
and then I'm like, dude, you got to have spreadsheets and just expanding the product line.
Now we've got dick pic pens, fucking
sunglasses, socks,
multiple posters, Steve-O sunglasses, Steve-O socks,
hot sauce.
Yeah, my own brand of hot sauce, dude. It's pretty insane. Let's take the opportunity right now to plug your merch, man. Where are people buying your merch online?
Oh, they can go to fluffyguy.com. So Fluffy and then the word guy, or just Google the word Fluffy and it'll take you directly to the website.
Fluffyguy.com.
I love it.
You heard it here, folks. Let's put a spike on Gabriel's merch.
Hey, Gabriel, I got a question because you look so good and you lost 100 pounds, right? And so I know for me, touring and just living that like tour life, the late night deep fried food at the comedy club, like what was that transition like for you? Because like, did you change your rider up when you're like, okay, I want to start losing weight, but you're on tour? Like,
well, that whole losing of 100 pounds happened a few years ago. And I know for a fact that the eating changed. I had incorporated yoga and weight training and then not eating like an asshole as much. And so that's how I had done it. I know that for a fact that I stopped eating late at night and that the fried food cut back a lot. And I stopped eating bread. That was the main thing, was bread.
Yeah.
On the road, we just made it so that mostly deli trays, keep it high protein fat. So deli trays, make sure there's no bread, make sure there's no crackers.
so good though sometimes, dude.
People will argue all day, but hey, that was my way of cutting sugar. Plus I'm diabetic, so there's a lot of different things that went into that.
And when you're selling out arenas, I think it's possible to get a deli tray in your green room. What kind of we've heard about crazy riders on the road, man, where people have to have a certain kind of brand new sneaker and
Eddie
our rider has always been
Club soda.
Yeah, we want club soda, like sparkling water. And that was only because I used to come out on stage smashing cans on my head until they broke. Yeah.
More for a prop, not necessarily to drink it.
Right, yeah, I used to do that with beer cans way back in the day. I'd come out and throw out beers into the crowd, break them on my head, and then I got sober, so I started breaking cans of club soda on my head.
Did it hurt more?
Same difference, man. It's just bad for you. I used to like do it until I remember I'd wake up in the morning and I'd walk out of bed like diagonal. You know, like my balance was off, and I was like, I got to stop hitting myself in the head every night.
Jeez.
You think you gave yourself a concussion doing the whole?
Yeah.
Every night.
And it turns out that with the CTE thing, that a lot of little hits is actually they accumulate more. It's worse, I think, than just a few big hits. But yeah, I had all that shit, man.
Fuck that. But yeah,
Yeah.
is anything crazy on your rider, Gabriel? An arena rider?
Just in case any of you don't know what a rider is, it's a list of things that an artist demands to have waiting for them at the venue when they show up for their performance. And I happen to have a rider of things I demand to have in my pocket at all times. That's right. In my pocket, I always have my Raycon earbuds. These things are premium earbuds, and they're half the price of most all other premium earbuds. Plus, you know those other ones you can't control, like stop, play, skip track. These ones have a button built in, and they fit so well right into my ears that I can actually lay my head on the pillow and have no problem listening to stuff. What do I like to listen to? Man, audiobooks. I'm on this one called Sapiens. That's a whole other story. It's insane. But yeah, get your Raycon earbuds, all right? Here's how you do it. You go to buyraycon.com/Stevo, and you get 15% off. Once again, 15% off when you go to buyraycon.com/Stevo, and you can rock and roll. Plus, always have it in my pocket. Ask me if you see me. Now, let's hear about Gabriel's rider.
No, like I said, and I know that saying deli tray sounds a little bit like, oh, deli tray, but it just sounds impressive. It's all it is a tray that has cheese and bologna and ham on it. There's not really.
That's like
there's
$6 at Costco.
Yeah,
It's very basic, very, very basic. All I needed was that. Like I said, a couple 6 packs of diet soda, and I was good. I didn't really ask for anything crazy. I did make sure that if I had towels, the towels needed to be used towels. I didn't want new towels because when you shower, you're full of lint, like really nice black towels. And if you've ever tried to use a brand new black towel after taking a shower, man, you are just covered. You were just covered. So I needed to make sure that the towels were used, which sounds weird.
I love
Right.
it.
That's a pro
So,
move.
do you route the tour so that you can go out on a tour bus?
Yes. Like I said, my agent managers, everybody works together to basically grab the map and then just route it. We have a bus and we have semis and everything. So it's like a little mini WWE setup where, everything's just going together and city to city. And basically it'll do like an S across the U.S. We try to stay away from the East Coast as much as possible just because we've done the East Coast with a tour bus, with semis in the winter, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So the routing now, I think we got it down. We just couldn't plan for the corona, so that was the only problem this time.
Then when you say we have a tour bus, you bought your own tour bus and semis? Fucking A.
I leased the tour bus for many years, and then finally I just got one, and I loved everything about it. It was basically, I was spending more time there than I was in my own home. And so I felt very comfortable with the bed. I felt very comfortable with the bus. It was very dependable. I still got my same bus driver. And so it's just one of those things where it became available and they gave me a really good deal on it. And so I went for it. If I would have known that the whole thing would have gone down, I probably wouldn't have bought it, but it was for the long haul. Right now, it's just been sitting in Nashville next to Brooks and Dunn's bus for the last 5-6 months.
Man.
Fuck.
I mean, dude, that's how come we're in this RV right now, because we went out on a Europe tour and we fucking rented this bus. The last person that had that fucking bus was Justin Bieber. Yeah, we're on this fucking bus. We had the time of our lives. And then the next thing you know, I just always want to be traveling in some kind of a bus. If we're gonna go film something, rent an RV. And I was like, I gotta have an RV.
Did you guys have that double-decker bus?
We did.
Yeah, beat the street.
Yeah, the Beat the Street. Yes, that's the one I used too. when I go over there.
Yeah, and then we got in big trouble for shitting on it.
Dude, like I walked downstairs and like the bus driver was like, "Yeah, you're not supposed to shit on this bus," and I'm like,
He's like, I just took my second shit.
dude, the guy was so pissed.
Can you shit on your bus, Gabriel?
You know what? That's always been the rule is you're not supposed to bring it on the bus. But my bus has 2 bathrooms. My bus has one in the front, and then there's one private one just for me in the back. And if I gotta go, I gotta go. And I says, hey, does the same rules apply? Well, the bathroom in the front of the bus is one of those you step on the pedal and it just opens the hole, and then whereas my toilet in the back actually flushes. It legit fills up and flushes, and it's like a regular toilet. So I bring it all the time when I can. I'd rather go on the bus than go in some of these venues that are just nasty.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
How many people are you traveling with?
Whew, that's a good number. What is it? Hold on, I'm doing the
Beautiful mind numbers right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the numbers in. It's apparently 48.
Holy shit!
48 people?
Yeah, it's a carnival.
How many tour buses is that?
Three tour buses and 5 rigs.
What's everybody
yeah.
doing?
I basically travel with a special. So when people come out to see the shows, I mean, the stage is huge. You know, if you're going to perform at a big arena, 15,000 plus, you can't just show up with a stage and a stool and a mic. You got to give them bang for the buck. So we got giant screens. The stage is all built. It looks like we're going to tape a special. Every single night, it looks like we're going to tape a special.
Oh, I love it.
Dude, it's just so fucking badass.
It's like WWE meets the Food Network.
Oh, that's sick. Are you slinging a lot of merch at your shows?
Yes. Oh, and so back to the merchandise. Early on, my manager at the time was like, listen, you go ahead and you peddle your little CDs or whatever. I don't want any of your merch. I just want to work on your shows and this and that. The merch is separate. You keep all your merch, which was probably the biggest mistake because the merch revenue now is through the roof. And it's mine.
Well, except that, like, if the theater takes like 15, 20% commission on your merch, even when they don't fucking sell it, that just drives me nuts. What does the arena do about merch?
The arena has their splits. So, for example, like soft goods, they'll say, oh, it's like a 70, what is it? It's 90-10. And then like if it's a CD or DVD or something like that, sometimes it's a little bit higher, but it's not much more.
Yeah.
But with arenas, they always have their own people. Whereas theaters, it's they just take the money, but you sell it.
Yeah.
So, to collect like the mob.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Fucking bullshit. So, how long have you been buddies with Snoop?
Oh my God. So, I'm not going to claim to be like, oh, we're homies. We hang out all the time. We know each other. He's been super nice to me every time we've had the opportunity to be around one another. He invited me on his show. He got me annihilated. There's a whole day of my life missing because of Snoop. My son told me that we wound up at Sizzler after that, and I don't remember. And I always remember when we go to Sizzler. I saw him a year after that podcast I did, and we just kind of looked at each other, and I go, "You know what you did to me, right?" And he's like, "Hell yeah!" And I'm like, yeah. And so, if we see each other, we say hi, but we're not kicking it on the weekends.
And you're both from Long Beach, right? You're from Long Beach as well?
Yes, but I stayed. I think he moved to a few different places. I think he lives in, I want to say Rancho Cucamonga, if that's, I don't want to be out of line saying where he lives. But.
Yeah, what's his address? But would you ever leave California? A lot of people are kind of moving out of California or just moving around, or are you Long Beach for life?
You know what? I keep having this conversation more and more, and this was even before Joe Rogan took his whole thing and took off. And I understand Joe Rogan leaving. I completely understand. You're about to sign $100 million deal, and California is going to take 10% of that for just doing nothing. I'm out. I don't care where you're going to send. You're not taking 10 million away from me. So that made total sense. From my end, it was more so like, well, where are we going to have more freedom? Where are we going to be able to just feel like we can go out and do whatever? California is so strict. And that's the main thing. It's like I keep hearing people going to Texas and going to Atlanta, not only for the tax breaks, but just for the space and just being able to do what they want to do. A lot of production companies going to Atlanta. Film movies are still going to happen, but that's what people are taking off. I keep having the conversation. It's the conversation was either go to Vegas, go to Texas, go to Atlanta.
Man,
I've been looking at Vegas, but I'm not sure. It's a far commute because we still work out of California, you know?
I was thinking about Atlanta, man. Atlanta's pretty fucking cool, man.
It's a big city, so it's like one of those, it's almost like moving to Houston. It's you almost feel like you're in an LA environment, but you're getting a huge break on your taxes, and the traffic isn't as ridiculous once you get outside into the suburbs.
Right, plus you get like 80 times the amount of house.
Yes. Oh my God. My friend who lives in Atlanta, he showed me his mansion that he bought that costs less than my house here in LA. And he has a 12 bedroom. It's a mansion. It's a 12 bedroom. If you have an elevator in your shit, it's a mansion.
Yeah.
And it's just enormous. And I paid more for my house. That's one level.
I know, and then now it's like the house that we paid so much fucking money for, it's gonna burn down. I'm just waiting for the day when my house burns down.
You're right in the fire.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
I mean-
I'm right in the middle of the fucking Hollywood Hills, dude. Like, it's just the kindling is all just around me.
Smells like a fire pit outside.
Yeah, is it smoky in Long Beach right now?
You know what? All the cars are covered with ash,
Yep.
and then everybody has that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, we're feeling it, but I don't see flames. So yeah, it's like that stunt you pulled where you walked on that pole and the fire's all around you.
Oh, dude, man, I appreciate you knowing about my stuff, dude.
Oh man, are you kidding? I've been following you forever. So if somebody doesn't know you and wants to be on your show, they're just doing it to sell shit. I'm a huge fan of yours. And by the way, that's a sick crew T-shirt.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Let me show you something. Let me see if I can tilt it. You see my little refrigerator right there?
Wow.
Dude,
that's
I love it.
A Motley Crue Marshall refrigerator.
So killer.
Dude, is that a Keurig machine back there?
Yes.
We're thinking about coming out with some coffee pretty soon.
Hey, we're all just trying to come up with a new hustle. People are like, hot sauce. I'm like, man, really? I got to be that Mexican?
Oh, dude, yeah, we got to send you some hot sauce, man.
Oh, for sure.
I am such a fan of my own brand of hot sauce that when the Mexican border shut down and we couldn't get any more of it, like I was just upset for myself.
It's panicking.
I didn't even give a fuck about it. We couldn't sell it, man. I was like, dude, I gotta go fucking use some other hot sauce.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I feel like you're the biggest consumer, like,
Oh, by
or we
far.
are. Yeah.
We have to start selling gallons of this shit.
And stop getting high on your own supply.
For real, dude. Cutting into the profits over here,
No
dude.
kidding.
Have you tried any of these drive-in movie theater shows?
You know what? My hat's off to any comic that can pull those off, but I'm way too spoiled, and I need 100% attention in the room, or at least 90%. I can't handle not being able to hear the people, and if people are honking the horns or they're using wipers or they're flicking lights, that's like a hell gig times 10. And is it really worth it to go out there and give people a half-ass show? Because then I feel like it would only be for the money.
Right. I agree 100%, man. I couldn't agree more. And then I found out that they're charging like $250 per car.
What?
They are, dude. Like, if you want to go see one of these comedy shows at the drive-in, you got to pay $250 for the car.
Wow.
You can pack the car with as many people as you want, but I mean, fuck.
Yeah, and everybody has their rules. Some say you can sit outside the car, bring lawn chairs and sit outside the car. Some people are like, you can't do that. And then, of course, how is the sound? What's it? Is it gonna be one of those where you hook up a speaker to your window like old school days? Is it gonna be you gotta set your radio to a certain station and try to get it that way? There's just too many. I do fairs. And just doing a fair, you're outside, and so you got to deal with the weather. You got to deal with bugs. You got to deal with helicopters and planes and motorcycles revving it in the parking lot. And so there's so many potential distractions, and you're asking for it.
Yeah.
Again, if you pull it off, there's been a few comics that have, like Bert Kreischer, man. Hey, my hat's off to him and his crew. They're out there grinding it. They're out there doing it, making it happen. But I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just can't.
I love Bert.
Anti-chafing cream.
Yeah, where can we get that?
Fluffyguy.com.
Hey, where's the cream at?
Oh my God, let's plug that shit right now.
Go ahead and give us your pitch.
This is the Below Deck right here, Below Deck by Old Spice, and basically this is the powder spray. You spray it where the sun don't shine, and you keep yourself extra fresh and anti-moist. And here's the chafing one. So you take that one off, and it's like deodorant. You bring out the little happy stuff, and then you apply, and your life is better for it. So.
So you put that like up your butt crack on your ball sack. It's a ball sack stick.
Yeah, you don't have to like sit there and constantly spread your leg out.
Oh man. All right, dude. What else do we got? Let's not keep.
I'm actually curious about how you got started in comedy. You've been in it for so long, and now you're just killing it. But where did you start? In LA?
Yes, Long Beach, California, to be exact. I grew up here, and it was one of those things where I knew that I needed to live in either LA or New York to get into comedy. At the time, there was no social media. It was just one of those things where I just knew this is where I had to be. And my mom moved to San Diego, and she said, hey, let's go to San Diego. And I'm like, I got to stay here in LA. And this was right when I turned 18. And so I wound up living on different couches until I got into the game. But I started at the age of 20 is when I first hit the stage and called myself a comic.
How old were you when you did Last Comic Standing?
Ooh, let me see. I was probably 5 years into the game when I did that.
And they kicked you off, right?
Well, I snuck in a BlackBerry. That goes to show right there. I had a BlackBerry cell phone. Those were the shit back then, the BlackBerry. And I snuck it in to stay in touch with my girl, and they caught me texting her. It wasn't like some people said, oh, well, he's probably getting jokes from the outside. I'm like, really? I'm like, I came into the show already being like that guy that was considered the ringer on the show. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I was just trying to stay in touch, making sure somebody else wasn't with her. That's why I brought the phone. So I got caught and I got kicked off the show. I told people that I made history being the first Mexican ever deported off NBC.
Yeah, fuck, man.
It worked out. I don't. Anybody who won the show, very few people actually made a big career out of winning the show. It's usually the people that came in second or third or got kicked off early that went on to do something.
Right, getting kicked off for smuggling in a cell phone is a better story, I think. You probably got more people aware of that than a lot of the people who won it.
Mm-hmm. And then you're known for, like, you do these hilarious voices and, like, your on-stage persona. Were you always doing, like, funny voices and stuff like that, like, growing up and stuff?
Yeah, that was the only thing I had a little gift for, was being able to do that. So, like, when I was years old, I entered a school talent show, and I was doing impressions of like Ronald Reagan and Pee Wee Herman and Mickey Mouse. And, for a 10-year-old, doing anything is a big deal, but doing voices like that was cutting edge for the time. And so I noticed that telling jokes was one thing, but being able to tell stories and animate them, you were able to just get so much. Oh, shoot. Sorry. My dogs are like, stop moving your hands. Anything, and they bark. But yeah, I noticed if you animate the stories, you were just such a bigger audience.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did the voiceover you did with Nickelodeon and telling the joke about the girl. You sounded exactly like a chick. No offense. I was like, fuck, this guy's good.
Eerie, huh? Oh my God, yes. Like right now, with all that ash in the parking lot.
Yeah. What a great transition voiceover work, huh? It seems like it's a lot. It's more laid back than anything else that somebody can do, right? I mean,
stand-up is number one. Doing voiceover work is definitely a close second, because it's like they make you feel so, you don't got to memorize stuff. You show up, there's a director there, they work with you. Can you go high? Can you go low? Can you, they tell you exactly how to do the voices, and they feed you, and, you take breaks, and it's nice. You'll knock out a whole movie in 4 sessions.
That's
wow.
Crazy.
What was your first voice acting gig?
Ooh, I did a cartoon for Disney called Emperor's New School.
Yeah.
And I I played twins. I played characters named You and Two. And yeah, that's that. I don't even think I watched the episodes, but I remember the characters. There was two skinny characters, two and two.
The
And anytime I've worked with Disney, with exception of the last movie, I played twins. So like when I did that, I played twins. I did Planes, Disney's Planes, and I played two twins on that movie as well. They're just trying to get more out of me, freaking Disney.
Yeah, that's good. That's funny. When I was 9 years old, my uncle was an artist for Disney, and he had me. I was like the perfect size for Aladdin. So there's a magic carpet ride, Aladdin, at the Orlando Disney World, and that's my body as a 9-year-old boy. Is they sketched out Aladdin on a carpet, and
No way.
yeah, and I never made any money off it, and
You're Aladdin. You're the real
I'm
Aladdin.
Aladdin in Disney Orlando.
voiceover seems like a really good thing for coronavirus, right? Like,
Yeah, you could do it from home if you had to.
I did. I'm gonna be in the new Space Jam movie with LeBron, and so I played the
sick.
character, and I recorded it here at my office.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
Is there anything you could tell us about the new Space Jam movie?
It's not the same story as the Michael Jordan one. It's, you would think, oh, is it just going to be the exact same thing? It's a completely different story, and it's not even. I wouldn't even call it a sequel because it's not like here's the next evolution of it. It's a whole different version of Space Jam.
Are there aliens?
I can't say exactly what the opposing team is, but it's in the vein, but it's a different story.
Okay,
It's
cool.
a different story, and there's a nice twist on this one too.
wait, if you had to guess, how long until that fucking bus gets revved up in Tennessee and you got shows going again?
I keep hearing April 2021. That's what they're hoping for. But when this whole thing popped off, they said, "Oh, just a couple weeks. Just stay home
Right.
for a couple weeks, and then we'll go back to our lives." And I'm like, this is no. I hope April is realistic. Everybody keeps thinking that as soon as it turns 2021, that all of this shit's gonna go away and we're gonna go back to normal. But this is gonna go for a minute. Honestly, I couldn't say if that is the case, but that they're hoping for it. They've all the tickets, everything is set up for April 2021.
I mean, it's great. You think April 2021, like comedy clubs will be open by then, but like that's 350 people. Like a fucking arenas, like opening up 4,000 person venues just seems like it's going to be a lot more pain in the ass to do that.
That's going to take a while. And what I noticed this past week is that they started allowing 20% capacity at some of these restaurants here locally. Like I know in Orange County, 20% now is allowed inside the restaurant for dine-in. So if they continue to up it slowly just to see what's going to happen. I'm not above going and performing inside of a restaurant. If they allow little stages and you can have 30, 40 people in there, that's enough for a show.
Yeah, Red Lobster, man.
Dave and Buster's, dude.
Biscuits.
There you go.
Hell yeah, man.
I have a friend of mine who owns a restaurant, and he did the whole patio thing where they brought the inside outside, and then they put bistro lights, and they made it look really cool. And I asked him, I says, "Hey, well, do you have live entertainment? It's outside." And he goes, "The city forbids any type of." He goes, "We can't even have a DJ." And I'm like, "Oh shoot, it's that serious?" And they're like, "Yeah, there's no, they don't want people hanging out." And I'm like, "Okay, I get it." But if they're
Yeah.
gonna allow dine-in, what's the problem now?
Right.
I mean, it's crazy now because everything's outside dining, and now there's fucking ash everywhere and fires. It's like, who wants to sit outside and breathe that shit? It's like a smoking section.
Yeah, everything is very hypocritical. Oh, one day it's this, one day it's that. And I just want life to go back to normal. But until then, if you need anti-chafing,
I love it, man. Hey, I can't thank you enough, Gabe. I really do appreciate you. And, I don't know what else to say, dude. Like, I really thank you for your time, man.
yeah, man. And I'll be happy to accept some of that hot sauce and take a picture with it just before I eat it. So if you got any early stuff, man, my buddy will tell you how many X's I am.
Dude,
And,
it's headed your way, brother. It's headed your way. Everybody, fluffyguy.com. Is that right?
yes, sir.
Fluffyguy.com. Buy some Gabriel Iglesias merch. Dude, you're the man. Thank you so much, brother.
Thanks, Gabriel.
I don't know about you, but I absolutely fell in love with Gabriel Iglesias during that podcast. And you know what else? He made me want to just tighten up my operation to be more productive, more efficient. And I'll tell you, one thing that I want to do to become more productive and efficient is to start a Wild Ride Clips page. And I gotta say, maybe one of you listening right now actually did so, except did it in a way that sucks because it's got these videos on there that nobody from Jackass wants on there. And I personally emailed the person responsible for the Steve-O's Wild Ride Clips page and asked them to take it down, and they didn't. So a big fat fuck you to whoever you are. God. And, you know, fuck it, we're going to make our own Clips page. So stay tuned for that. And Street Team, I love you. Yeah.